Hey guys, it's Matt McWilliams here, and today I'm going to answer a very common question. This is a question that I get from readers, I get from just random people, prospective clients, you name it. This is a question I get all the time, and I love answering it because, quite frankly, the answer is a little bit counterintuitive. But there's somebody special that I picked out who asked this in a specific way recently. And I'll explain why I picked her question after I read her question to you. This question is from Sue Dunlevie of successfulblogging.com. And I love the way she asked this question. Let me give you a quick background though. This is really cool. Sue's already done multiple launches of her course at successfulblogging.com. And her first launch, she wanted 10 people and she got 15. And this is $1,000 course, and I'm no math whiz, but that's 15 grand. I mean, that's awesome. Her second one, she wanted 15, she got 20. So she has this pattern of like winning by fives, which is great. That's another $20,000. So she's winning. She's doing awesome at this. But even despite that, she asks, when are you ready to take on affiliates? Should I wait for one or two more launches? And the reason why I love this question is because Sue freaking gets it. She's not looking to get rich quick. She knows that slow and steady wins the JV race. And the reason why I think she's going to be successful, in fact, I know she's going to be successful with affiliates, is she wants things to be completely optimized before she brings anybody on board. So to make sure that happens, I walked her through, when she asked me this question, I gave her my 7 steps to basically, when are you ready to bring on affiliates? And I'm going to share this with you today, or share those with you today. Step 1 is do an internal launch only. Now that is exactly what it sounds like. It means you take your list, nobody else's, no cold paid traffic, no nothing, no SEO, anything like that. You take your list and you launch to them. Now the average list size, based on surveys of the people watching this video, most likely in my audience, is just under 4,000 people. So for argument's sake, let's say you have 4,000. Now, you might have 100, you might have 1,000, you might have 20,000. Regardless, you launch to your list only. But I'm going to walk you through an example, and then I'll give you some variables that might change this a little bit. But I'm going to give you an example if you have 4,000 people on your list. What I would do is not launch to all 4,000 of those, because we'll get to step 2 in a second. But step 2 is repeat as needed on step 1. You'll hear that theme a lot in this. But what I mean is take 500 to 1,000 people and launch to them and split test things. Test headlines, test colors, test, language that you use, test processes, test having video 1 on a Tuesday versus a Thursday and video, 3 on a Friday versus a Sunday, whatever you want to do. Test some different variables and come up with what works best, what converted best, what had the best buy rate. And then repeat that with some more of your list. The cool thing is you're able to do, by limiting that to 500 to 1,000, you're able to take a 4,000 person list and do 3, 4, 5 mini launches with it. Now, you may not need to do 5, you may only need to do 3, you may only need to do 2. Well, what if I only have 100 people? Well, then you're going to do all 100 at once. Or maybe you really are going to divide it up into 50 and just see what happens. You might learn something with that 50 that makes you go, oh, I can't believe I did that. I'll fix that for the next 50. But if you do have even a few hundred, it's really easy to just divide that up. And you could do these back to back to back weeks. This isn't a 6-month process. So that's number 1, is do an internal only launch. Number 2, as I said, is repeat as needed. Again, do that as often as you need to. If you feel like after the second one, you got this down pretty well to your list, then go ahead and just launch to the rest of them and maybe tweak a few things and learn a few more new things. Number 3 is to do cold traffic. Do 1 or multiple launches. Again, step 4, I'll skip ahead, is repeat as needed. But do 1 launches with cold paid traffic only. Maybe it's LinkedIn ads or Facebook ads or whatever, Instagram ads. It could be anything like that. These are brand new people to your fold. They haven't been following you for 6 months or a year or 2 years. They're not reading your blog. They don't know, like, and trust you. In fact, they don't know you. They may or may not like you, and they're probably suspicious of you because they think you're trying to sell them some snake oil. But do a launch to cold traffic, because if your internal list is up here on the, like, they're a 10 on the no like and trust scale. And cold traffic's at a 4. Your JV traffic is going to be somewhere in the middle. It might be as high as a 9, could be as low as a 5 or a 6. But this will get you kind of those two extremes. And you might notice some differences. Well, this headline's different. Well, why is it? Well, because the ad said this, or because they don't really understand my language because they haven't been reading my blog for 3 months. They haven't gone through my autoresponder series. Okay, so that's different traffic. It's different people. And you begin to tweak it and refine it. And the cool thing about that is if you can get 50 people to your opt-in page a day, even 20 people to your opt-in page a day, you can constantly be testing. 50 people, if you split test headlines, 50 people, that's 25. And let's say that on one you get 17 conversions and the other you get 2. I'm not saying pull the trigger yet. You might give it one more day. If at the end of 2 days it's 34-4, 34 wins when it's that severe. Now, odds are it's probably going to be 27-23, and you cannot make a decision yet. But you may be able to make some quick decisions on your cold traffic just by testing. And over time, it will refine itself. Step 4 is to repeat as needed. You heard me say that. It's not the last time I'm going to say that. Now, there's 7 steps. You can probably guess I'm going to say that one more time. And then actually, I should make this 8 steps. The last step, repeat as needed. But anyway, number 5 is small JV launches. Now, what I mean here is you've done this internal only launch. You've done this, you've done the cold traffic launch repeatedly. Now it's time to go out and specifically get a few JV partners, as many as 10, probably less, and do some testing with them. Now, who do you get? Who do you actually pick for this? This is the most important part of this step. It has to be people who are doing it as a favor to you, not because they're trying to optimize their revenue. If somebody says, well, what's my EPC going to be, Joe? And if your name's not Joe, that's a weird question. But if they say, well, what's my EPC going to be? They are not an ideal candidate for this step. Put them on your list for step 7 when we get to that. But they're not ideal for this one. You want this to be like the guys in your mastermind group who say, you know what, I'll mail to a segment of my list. And you can do whatever you want with that traffic. You can split test it. You can do whatever. You can play around with it. Try some new stuff, et cetera, et cetera. They're in it for you. They're doing this as a favor to you, not because they're trying to, make the most money or they're asking about EPC or anything like that. The cool thing about this step is unless you have a product that is genuinely, like, it has to have a close cart date. And what I mean by that is you can always close the cart, but if there's not a legitimate reason, like you need 30 students and you're starting the class and you're literally going to be teaching it in real time. Unless you have a product like that, in which case you'll need to get more people at once, you could literally be starting a JV launch every week. Try different dates. Well, for JV, does it work best to start on Tuesdays or Thursdays? Does it work best to start on, Wednesday, or do we want video 2 on this date? What's all these things? You could even have a person, one of your JVs actually, let's say they have a 10,000 person list and they say, I'll mail to my whole list. Well, hey, could you mail the 5,000 of them on Tuesday and 5,000 on Thursday and learn what's going on with these things? And you could literally be doing those constantly for as many, 10, 12 of them before you really feel like this is optimized. I know that Tuesday's the day. It's not for everyone. In fact, so-and-so converted better on Thursday, but as a rule, Tuesday's the day. I know that this headline's best. I know that I want to do this ebook followed by these 3 videos, followed by 3 webinars is the magic number, followed by, this thing. I'm going to reopen the cart. Whatever you want to learn, you can learn it by doing these one-off JV launches. Now, just so you understand, you think, well, if I do step 1 and I repeat as needed, and I do step 2 and repeat as needed, that's like 4 years before I could ever do a big launch. Because we're going to get to step 7 in a second, which is go big. This is like you're ready for your big launch. I want to point out that when you start step 1, internal launch only, you can already be working on step 5. Hey, I'm launching to my list this week, Joe, and I feel like I'm going to be ready for you in 3 to 5 months to do a little JV launch. Can I get you on the calendar? Would you be ready? Can I put you on the calendar for July 14th? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Great. Well, while you're still doing your internal launch, you could be setting up the cold traffic stuff. You could even be, if you really feel like your list is kind of optimized, you could even be combining steps 1 and 3 for the last internal launch. Well, I'm going to throw in some cold traffic too. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, this is not you have to complete step 1 before you do step 2, before you do step 3, and so on. So don't think this is like a 3-year process. This is, if you really need some practice in optimizing and, you're learning, this is a 6-month process tops, maybe 9. And 9 is if you really have some things that go wrong. So it's a 9-month process tops. Step 7, as I said, is go big. Now is the time to go to those big guys and say, listen, I've got a fully optimized launch sequence. It converts at X percentage. Your EPC is going to be $7.42 on average. And here's the prizes we're offering. We're ready for this. Like, we're going big. Now you're ready to go big. But you have to be disciplined to get there. And that's why I love Sue's question, because she asks, when am I ready to take on affiliates? Should I wait for 1 or 2 more launches? In other words, should I follow this sequence? Should I be disciplined? Should I be patient and trust the process and get this optimized before I start reaching out to people? And the answer to Sue and to you is yes, you should. Because you'll hear me talk so often about what I call 4th launch vision, which is we want to make the 4th launch, not the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, but the 4th, the biggest of them all. And you don't get the 4th to be the biggest if you burn bridges in 1, 2, or 3. And the best way to burn bridges with your partners is, not to pay them or to pay them really late. That's one, which not what we're talking about today. The other one is to have an offer that's not optimized. I just created this product. I'm ready to do a multi-million-dollar launch. And then you bring in some big guys and this thing sucks. You don't convert. They're never converting you again or going to promote you again. Once you burn a bridge, you can't unburn it. So be patient so that when they come on that 4th launch, they come on and they have such an amazing experience. You told them their EPC was going to be $7.42, and by gosh, it was, or maybe it was $8, maybe it was $9, and they're pumped. Their team is pumped, and they made $32,000 when the best they've ever made in a launch before was $20. They're promoting you every time from that point forward. That's what we have with our clients. Like, we want them to literally be falling over themselves to promote our clients because we run the launch well. And it's optimized and it's ready for them. So if you follow these steps, then your first big launch will certainly not be your last. Hey, if you're looking for more free training, go to mattmcwilliams.com/5 pillars. The number 5 pillars. mattmcwilliams.com/5 pillars. I've got a free video there, another free video training that will show you how to make your next affiliate promo your best ever. This is going to show you my 5 strategies that I've used and our clients have used to make their affiliate launches the best they can be. So check that out. And then make sure that you share it. When you get to step 7, when you're going big, make sure you share that training with your affiliate partners because it's going to help them to optimize their promotion of your launch. I'm Matt McWilliams from Affiliate Launches Made Simple. You can find more about me not only at mattmcwilliams.com/5 pillars for your free training, but just mattmcwilliams.com. I'll see you next time.